Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about dealing with parent failures. The background to my story is that due to the fact that I was studying part-time, my mom was always present in my son's life. That was for the first 3 years of his life. Unfortunately, she passed away, and as a result, I was forced to become a full-time parent. Um, in essence, before prior to that, I've always been a part-time parent, and because of the studies, she allowed me the freedom, which she allowed me the freedom, which I will always be grateful for. Um, so and we I could still socialize a bit, but when the minute I became a full-time parent, I immediately socialization adjust. What there was an adjustment, and I would, and also the grief. And with regards to the whole COVID process or COVID pandemic, um, classes changed and everything changed, and that allowed me to be present in that transition phase. Um, and then it came to a point where my son, yes, he's attended one of the good best schools in my area, which was a Montessori based school. But because of the final year of his final year, the principal was doing a recall or an assessment, and then she felt that he needed to go see an occupational therapist, um, which I, at the time, if I'd known, I would have done my research and I would have found a better therapist, because that is not the point. So this therapist I was referred to, oh, she pure evilness. It's like she overwhelmed me with the feedback. Basically, she was like a big name in the industry, where she had posters of like the TV programs she's been on. If I mention one of the programs being on, a lot of people know who this lady is. The feedback overwhelmed me. It wasn't what I expected. Because up until that point, I always assumed there was nothing wrong. But I think it's because now the school reached the realization where they know their kids won't be ready, because Montessori is more about learn through play. My mistake also with the day of my appointment, I attended the session, not thinking it will be that bad, but then, and it was also the day was 1 year anniversary of my mom's death. I only realized later on, when I actually realized that I got the dates wrong, and I attended the session, which I should have made it for another day. The besides that, in South Africa, even though you have medical aid, these some OTs charge you cash, and then you have to claim the money back from the medical aid. But the problem with that is that you don't always get your full amount. In my case, I think this was last year. The therapist, she charged like 1,500 rand, which was a lot, paid cash up front. Went for the session thinking it will be okay. This woman had a lot of feedback. It's like, I don't know if she, but my mistake also when you go to these type of people, do not tell them beforehand of the history of anything. It's their job to do a full on assessment of your kid, so you can know if it is from a objective point of view, or are they just making this up, so they, based on what you actually help them to make this assessment, which is actually a lazy part of like assessing a kid. So then she overwhelmed me, and it's like the way this lady made me feel. Oh, she made me feel like I had a dad of a kid, and I was so disappointed. I left there thinking I've done everything wrong. And only that, because I think that's where, for initially, I was like, I was depressed, I was in tears, I was crying, thinking I failed. That was actually absolutely the first time I think that was one of the first few major times I felt like a failure as a parent, because now this whole parenting process is new to me, and here you're telling me that there's no progress, and he was at a very good school. So then I took stock. I actually believed everything she told me. I didn't I didn't use my think. I didn't think to myself to make a decision based on that. And then a week passed, and that's when I realized, hold on, but can you really believe this? And then I started asking a lot of parents around, and the minute one of the few parents told me no, but this lady did this, and a pair if I when I did a when I actually spoke to one or two parents, it came out that a lot of the students that they refer to. So you know how it feels like you are paying for nothing. So she was like making you feel like you useless. How dare you? It's like you've done everything wrong, and which is not a person like that is supposed to make you feel good. And the following month was brutal because I looked and I felt, and everybody around me, no one could explain to me. I think I lashed out, and I was angry with myself. I was angry with everyone, and I got to that point where and then I realized, hold on, why are you allowing her to put you in this depressive place? um Immediately I took stock, and that's where I made the decision. It's like, this is not the end of the world. Yes, she gave you this feedback, but you were not going to react immediately, because that's what I felt like. And the way it's like, I don't know if she was selling it like a business where she wanted him to go for two more sessions, but every time he went for a session it would be 1,500 rand, which works out to almost 6 grand, double the amount, 3 grand almost for the month, double the amount of what I'm paying for school fees. So that is what overwhelmed me, because it's like, yes, I earn an okay salary or I am working, but I can't be spending my whole salary or part of my salary on just therapy sessions. And I didn't have a lot of faith in her, because I was naive, because I actually expected the school to have my back, and it felt like that's where I made this point where I phoned the principal and I told her, look, I'm not happy with this assessment. I would rather, if it should come up again, I will reassess. And that was actually the smartest decision I made. I actually told the teacher she either had a choice. Either I kept him in the school, or I took him out and I put him place him with this woman. And then the principal said, no, that won't be necessary. And that's where and I told her, I feel that's just your duty if you think there's problems with, because the thing is, everybody turns six in that year, and they have this mistake where they measure that they use the same yardstick for all the children, which is unfair. And especially the philosophy that they preach in is Montessori based learn through play. So every child's supposed to develop at their own pace. Um, and that's where I said I made a conscious decision. I think that's in terms of my resilience, where I said I'm going to take back. I'm not going to refuse to let this feedback control me, because it's only one feedback. I'm going to take stock of my own narrative. Because what I felt is also, whenever she phoned you, she made it about herself and her personal life, because she was currently going through a life change, and that could have influenced her thinking. And she was boxing my boy, and I couldn't allow that, and that is where I made a decision. Don't allow anyone to dictate to you. You know your kids, and that's the moral of the story, is that I take stock of your own. If someone says this about your kids, yes, there can be some truthfulness in this, but you as a parent, you know your son, you know your daughter, you know your children better than anybody else. So don't allow anyone to dictate. Yes, you can use the feedback under advisement, but don't allow that to be the be all and end all. So you make decisions based on that, and it makes you feel like you're a complete failure. So the lesson is that and in my lesson, what I took out of is that, because it was kind of a good thing and a bad thing that it happened at that time, but then I said to myself, you know what? I made a promise to my mom. I'm going to be the best parent for my boy, and I'm not going to allow anybody to box, and I'm going to take control. And as of that, because when I forced myself into that my way of thinking, I immediately broke that, because I was allowing those whatever this woman was doing, um, she to overpower me, and immediately yeah, he might have needed again, but he is seeing someone, but way better. But she wasn't the right fit for my boy. So that is, we don't, moral of the story is, don't allow anyone to box your kid. You're the best parent. You know your kid better than anyone. I'm putting this out because there might be parents going through this, and feeling like they are complete failures, just remember you're not alone. You only know you know what is good and what is right for your kids. Don't allow anyone to dictate, determine, to box your kids. You do the best, because we as parents, we are all doing our best. We all learning, and we are all works in progresses. Um, so don't force anybody to dictate anything. You are enough. You're the parent for the child. Even if it's whether it's a two-parent household or one parent, you're doing the best you can together. If you're working as a team, whether you're not, you're doing the best that you can, and your kid needs you to show that you're strong, because there is lots that you need to teach your child. So yeah, so that is the end of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next upload. Bye.